so cool is we're going to come right here.
I don't know. I mean, there's such goodwill for the whole thing. It's just trippy to me when people outstay their welcome. But I do have a producing partner here that I trust very much. We've produced such epics as Sherlock Holmes, a 14-month-old boy. You know, we're kind of batting 1,000 right now.
What's next for you guys?
She's producing a movie I'm starring in called The Judge with Robert Duvall and a bunch of great actors and actresses, and we'll be back east shooting that this summer. Ty Simpkins and being able to have Tony have a young friend.
Oh, he's so good.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, from the moment I started making more than $40 a week, I spent it on clothes.
What do you think of
I have nothing else to add. Bye.
I think I'm standing on my star. I know it's very near here, which is amazing, and it was so such a thrilling day when my star was put on this walk, and now here I am on the red carpet with this great movie. It's very exciting.
You know, everyone's excited about it, but for you, when they give you this script, you're like, how can I make it?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You know, I think the audiences are always coming out in such a big way to support us, and we're very fortunate, and hopefully, you know, everything lives up to the hype.
And
the Mandarin must be stopped.
You don't know who I am. You'll never see me coming.
I mean, guys, come on. Surely. You've done 2 already. Surely it can't get any better. And then it sort of did.
It does, yeah. I was just coming out for dinner, and then I got stuck in this red carpet thing, and all of a sudden here we are. So I guess I'll have to eat later.
And the Chinese theater across the street.
I know, there it is, and it's at least they've repaired it since our movie.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Tell me about.
I guess Robert's just arrived.
What Tony's going through now in this movie feeds very well into what I'm going to do with him in The Avengers.
You're glory fest. But that's great also because you can talk to Tony. You don't have to worry about the middleman. You just go and say, listen, in this scene. Robert's journey and Tony's journey sometimes seem a little blurry because they're both sort of genius entrepreneurs in a way who have a self-destructive side, maybe, but in the sense that Robert's sort of come to terms with and is aware of and has conquered his, I think he's a little ahead of the game. And Tony is still finding out how to get over his destructive tendencies. So Robert is basically, I think, looking back a little bit and saying, here's this tormented version of me that I may have been more familiar with a few years back, and that's Tony Stark. There was a discussion briefly at first about it, and then we just decided not to do it. It was the course of a couple hours discussion, and somehow it got blown up to they wrote a script about alcoholism. No, there was never anything like that. Okay. Yeah.
And I have to say, I still don't think I can match Rob, but he was particularly generous as far as making the newcomers feel.
I think it's so appropriate that he's cast as this role because he brings so much irreverence to the role, and I think, you know, for somebody who, as we know, has had a fairly colourful past and yet is still standing on his own 2 feet, and not just standing on his own 2 feet, but still being cutting edge and irreverent and brilliant. I don't think they could have cast anyone better, to be honest.
Robert and Gwyneth, everybody was so welcoming.
He has his mark on this film as the wonderful job.
Everybody was so
I think that Robert is a unique and true movie star, and his charisma and his personality he brings with him to a role, and so much of Tony and Robert become, you know, one of the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly, it does? No!
Well, I could, but I don't want to. It'd be no fun.
What's it been like sort of welcoming Robert Pattinson to Australia?
Well, he struggled with the flies and the heat, but he had a nice time. He had a pretty good time, I'd say.
You manned him up? Is that what you're saying?
I manned him up, yeah. I didn't man him up, but the others manned him up, yeah, absolutely.
You're not a man. You're nothing more than a maniac.
I'm not afraid of you. No politics here. Just good old-fashioned revenge.